Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
I looked at Laura today and I said, we got Barry Traml. Hang on a second, let me flip myself around here. It's not a very nice thing I just did, but I looked at Laura today and I said, we got Barry Traml on today, who is a longtime voice in Oklahoma, and she said, oh, man, I love that guy. He is so cool. Those of you who have never heard Barry Traml, you're in for a real treat. He's going to join us here in about 10. In the meantime, shout out to Russell Smith. Shout out to... You sure? I thought it was more than 30 seconds. Shout out to Russell Smith. I'm gonna run it here.
Shout out to Sean Sinclair.
Shout out to Cinco. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to what's coming up Friday. Listen.
Join Fan Run Radio for a super spooky Halloween party at Calhoun's on the River this Friday starting at 11 a.m. Tony Basilio will be broadcasting live from the deck from 11 to 1, followed by William Pattison and the Playbook from 1 to 3, and The Drive from 3 to 6. Stop by for lunch or dinner and sign up for the Fan Run Box, which we'll be giving away at 6 p.m. live on the air. It's the Dark Mode Can't Miss Halloween special that'll have you more scared than...
You got to dream about buying some... Oh, there it is. Mooah! How come it was only 30 seconds on you cut it off? It's supposed to be 45 seconds. So I guess we'll have to get that back in there. Nothing's easy, she said. Family operation here. So... what we're doing is we'll be live, followed by William Pattison, Playbook. He'll be posing for cards, autographs, etc. Followed by Russell Smith along with Bear and Baskerville. It's going to be unbelievable. And then we're playing music at night. $100 copper card to the best costume. I asked Kelly Holcomb yesterday, who should I go as? And he said, how about Uncle Fester? Now, Sean Sinclair, do you think that's funny that Kelly Holcomb, a multiple-year NFL quarterback, would crack on me like that yesterday on the air?
Yeah. Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I leaned into my device yesterday when I was on Plaster. And I encouraged Plaster. I said, Kelly, because Kelly's got some stroke at MTSU. I said, your head coach down there isn't doing real well. You guys need to hire Tim Banks. And he said, I thought you told me he couldn't recruit. And I said, well, that's not everything. And he said, but what about the way the defense looks? And I said, well, maybe he's not a great coordinator. Maybe he needs to be a head coach. What do you think, Cinco? Could you see him at MTSU? Are you for that or against that?
Is radio there now?
Yes.
I have a hard time believing, with all due respect, Derek Mason was significantly better as a defensive coordinator in his time anywhere than Banks has ever been.
But this is life as a head coach. We could unlock a great head coach in this guy. He doesn't recruit. Well, I know. That's a small issue.
He doesn't develop his position.
You're not playing along. Sean, we're trying to get this guy. If you're listening and you're from MTSU on the show of record, you really need to do the right thing and hire this guy.
Well, if you want to help him along in his career, I got two words for you: and they rhyme with buyout.
He's a budding CEO type.
He's a budding CEO. That's right, Brian. Cinco, Dominic Bailey has said that we have a poor tackling team. A poor tackling team. Any thoughts on that?
I think that scratches the surface. But I did some research during our 3-hour pre-production meeting.
Yes, thank you.
And our defense is very much the definition of feast and famine. I don't think it's safe to say it's bend but don't break, because they break a heck of a lot. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But if you look at I think the difference is bend and keep bending until you can't bend anymore, and then defend an extra point. Is pretty much the way I'd describe them. But if you take a look at the NCAA.org defensive stats, it's very telling. In total defense, we're 99th out of 134. Third down conversion defense, 70 out of 134. I thought that'd be lower. Fourth down conversion, 121 out of 134. And then it gets interesting. Pass defense efficiency and scoring defense were 110 and 112. Rushing defense were not so bad in 54th. Red zone defense, if you get inside the 20s, you might as well just put points on the board. We're 123 out of 124. And then as a team, in defense, we're 119 in first downs given. And in penalties, as a whole, we've known this. And I still don't understand how a program and a coach can whitewash penalties. You're going to have some, and some of them are aggressive, and they're okay. And some of them, you're sending message with your aggressiveness. I'm not saying you're hurting people, but you're letting people know you're in town.
I like it.
We're 113 out of 134. Now here's where it's weird. And then you take a look at the other side. In defensive touchdowns, we're number 1 in the country. Creating turnovers, we're 16. Sacks were 6th in the country. Tackles for loss were 6th. Turnover margin were 39th out of 134. So it is very much a feast or famine. You take a look at in the conference, if you say, which I think our stats are built around our wins are Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. None of those teams have a conference win yet.
Yep.
They're pulling a big Oferberger on the 2025, and at least 2 of them will have new coaches next year once Stoops gets asked a question. So yes, tackling is just, to say the least, not good. But in the SEC, what's interesting is by far we have the number 1 offense in yards per game and points. But in defense, we're 15 out of 16 in yards per game. And so you are what you are, as they say. And so it looks like unless we want to just drive ourselves crazy as fans, we might as well just take to the theory of, hey, let's just start rooting for scoring the most points and see if we can score more points than the other guy, because we're not going to stop anybody. We can't stop anybody. Apparently we don't have any interest in stopping anybody. But what they do accomplish is they're pretty good at taking the ball away. They're pretty good at sacking. And if given the opportunity, they're pretty good at scoring on their own. And I don't see those things really changing. The problem is you're going to face 3 teams that are, I think, salty. I think you could say that. I think Oklahoma's pretty salty. Florida down there is its own entity, and then Vanderbilt. I'm not ready to buy them as world beaters, but they certainly are tough. I heard your thing yesterday with Matt, and if I had to go 10-2 or 8-4, I'm easily siding with the 8-4, and hoping it's somewhere in the middle. But it's a tale of two. It's a tale of 2 days here with this defense and with the program, etc. And the one final thing is, when we look at the defense, what I don't really understand is why we keep doing things we're not good at. What I mean by that is if you're not a good zone pass defense, why do you keep doing something you can't do? Pick a couple things you can do and seeing if you can excel at those. And just see what happens, because I know we can't play zone defense. I just know that.
Might be a great question for Watson Brown, who joins in an hour, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. You know, Dominic Bailey said, we're working on our tackling this week. Sean, how do you work on tackling when you're not tackling in practice? Like, do you tackle people on the way to class? Do you go down Cumberland Avenue and just randomly tackle people? Like, back in the day, you worked on your tackling when you worked on your tackling. These days, there's such limited hitting compared to past years. Do you go over to frat row, and when guys are coming out of their rooms, you work on your form? I mean, to me,
kind of like that Terry linebacker guy that would hit people in airports. No. This may sound weird, but the way you work on your tackling is not necessarily on the field. It's in the film room. And you just embarrass people. You just put the film up and you show in front of your teammates and the other guys of what's really happening there. And the eye in the sky does not lie. And you make it a priority and you just call people out and say, hey, Redmond, take a look at this. Guys at the 3-yard line, and you fold up like a lawn chair. Hey, Boo Carter, at the 20-yard line, you took a powder and watched this guy walk in the end zone. That's what you do, because they've already done the drills. They all know how to tackle.
Yeah.
Tackling is just plain and simple. What John Chavis would say over and over. Tackling is just plain and simple, wanting to get the guy on the ground.
It's kind of like rebounding.
By any means necessary.
It's kind of like rebounding. Coaches in rebounding always say, rebounding is effort, 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 effort. It's like 1-2. We'll continue on the other side. My Blue Jays wanted to. I told you the Blue Jays were going to come back and win last night. Blue Jays are not going to go quietly here. Not going to go quietly. Manfred wants the Dodgers to win so he can lock the players out after next season, and they can sit there for a whole summer without us having baseball. And the Blue Jays are going to be the fly in the ointment. We come back on the other side. The coolest man in the Southwest, Barry Traml. Not Barry. Berry. Barry Traml. I'm not calling him Barry in a funny way. His name is Barry. And he is next. Wait till you hear this guy after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new, high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore, it's the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. the best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. It's unbelievable, Andy, as we welcome you back. Joining us now on your TLD Logistics hotline. I mean, when I say the world's coolest man, when you hear this guy speak and you hear the content, and then you go and read him in your Tulsa world and across that great state of Oklahoma, where he's been on the scene for 50 or so years, Barry Traml is the man. He can dribble, he can shoot, and he's the man, as they say on the playground. And he joins us now on your TLD Logistics hotline. Barry, always good to catch up with you. Hope all's well.
Well, I don't know if I can still shoot, and I don't know if I can still whatever you
dribble.
But dribble, dribble. But this much I can tell you: I no longer can jump. I'll promise you. So, but I'm enjoying it the heck out of it. I've actually been in the business 47 years. I guess you round up to 50. But I tell people I'm on my way to Knoxville Friday. This will be my third trip. I was there, of course, for the Baker Mayfield game 10 years ago.
Oh, no.
But also, I debuted at Neyland Stadium was 1995. Oklahoma State came to town, played Peyton Manning. Cowboys still trying to score. They got beat 31-0.
Was Bob Simmons the coach then? Why does that name ring a bell to me? Who was the coach then? Who was the coach at Oklahoma State
Bob
then?
Simmons.
Thank
Bob
you.
Simmons,
I knew
first
that.
Year.
Thank you.
Yeah, first year for Bob Simmons. But yeah, enjoyed the heck out of it. I guess I come in years that end in 5. I've been to 3 games, all ended in 5, 95, 15, now 25. I hope to make it back in 35.
Hey, no question. The great Barry Traml now joining us. 70's the new 40. You know, I'm 58. I feel like I'm 12. And I act like I'm 14. So there you have it. As Barry Traml joining us on the program. Barry, you know, this Oklahoma thing's really interesting because they tell us not to mix business with pleasure and all that stuff. And Heupel's, we talked about this last year, but Heupel's roots are so deep there. And the one thing that we know about him, he's such a fiercely proud and fiercely competitive man. And I just wonder how a guy like that separates that all out this week and compartmentalizes that this week. That's got to be very difficult.
Yeah, I don't think he does. You know, Josh is, he has let some of the bitterness dissipate, which is really good, but I don't know that it's all gone. So I think this game means more to him than most. You know, that victory last year was monumental for him. Such a big moment in OU football history. By the way, yesterday was the 25-year anniversary of Oklahoma's victory over Nebraska. They met in October 28th, 2000, the Oklahoma Renaissance year. They went on to the national championship. They played 3 top 10 teams in October: Kansas State, Texas, or Texas, Kansas State, then Nebraska. Capped with Nebraska, number 1 versus number 3. Heupel led the Sooners to victory, and just probably by the modern crowd, the favorite game in OU football history from anybody under 70. So field rushing, all that kind of stuff. And Heupel, of course, was at the core and the center of it. And then he returns last year for another monumental game in OU football history, the first SEC game in Oklahoma history. You know, such a vaunted matchup, and the Vols dominate, and he really took. You know, I'm no longer close to Josh. I'm not saying I ever was, but I'm not around him every day. But I went to his post game, and just judging, you could tell that game meant a lot to him. And so I can't imagine this one. Maybe not quite as much, but this is still something special to him. And I think to whatever degree a coach can have his team ready, I assume he'll have the volunteers ready.
Yeah, I just wonder sometimes, because it's so unique in the sport, right? To see a guy go against a program where he won a natty, the Renaissance year like you're talking about, goes to New York as a Heisman candidate, all those things, man. And then be unceremoniously dismissed. Some would say it wasn't just what happened with him, but then he's kind of cast out in the wilderness. He's got to go find himself. And then he ends up in a power league in these high-stakes Southeastern Conference football games. I'm not sure. And we saw it last year, right, when he went back home. But, man, this year's game is a real high-stakes, later-in-the-year football game. This game feels different than last year, Barry.
Yeah, last year was a question of these teams look like they could be really good. Turns out Tennessee was, Oklahoma wasn't. But here we are on November 1st. This is a playoff elimination game Saturday night. One of these teams is going to the boneyard Saturday night. So, I just don't know if I don't know if either one of them, it's going to be difficult for either one of them to get there even with a win, but we know they're not going to go if they lose. So that's just sort of life, in the modern SEC with the 12-team playoff, where so many teams are in contention, but there are so many good teams that losing actually becomes sort of a regular occurrence just by osmosis. So it's an interesting matchup, and it's an interesting landscape in which we live. Oklahoma and Tennessee, it's a long way. I've driven to Knoxville.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of times. It's a long way, but there's only one state in between us. I mean, about, I don't know how far, 180 miles of Arkansas is all that separates Oklahoma and Tennessee on Interstate 40. So it's a new rivalry, but one I think is just great. And just I'm so glad the Sooners are getting to go to Neyland Stadium this quickly in their foray into the SEC.
And there's just something about it, man. Those two teams, like that game, we still talk about it here, the 2015 Baker Mayfield game. Tennessee has that huge lead, and one of the more painful nights in the history of the stadium. But there was something about that Sooner brand that brought out the best in our crowd that night. And Tennessee football had been dormant for a few years and left a really good chance on the field to win that one. And then this Mayfield guy, it's kind of weird, right? The Browns sort of give up on him, sort of cast him aside. And, boy, what a second act he's had. Isn't that just an incredible story when you think about Baker Mayfield's career, just how he ended up at Oklahoma, the whole shebang with him?
Yeah, he's a seminal figure in Oklahoma football history. And the idea that he would go to the NFL and wash out somewhere and come back strong that's not going against the grain. That's something that's sort of in his DNA to sort of reemerge better than ever. So Oklahomans pulled for him. I mean, I know Tampa Bay. I know OU fans who are pulling for Tampa Bay all the time. I know an OU fan who has Tampa Bay season tickets and goes to about 4 or 5 games a year because he wants to go down there and watch Baker Mayfield quarterback. And, the truth is that it all started that night. That wasn't the season opener, but that was the night, we knew, Sooners have something special. And for a guy to stay 3 years is, you don't see many 3-year starting quarterback places much anymore. But Mayfield was a 3-year starter, a 3-year top 4 Heisman guy. Just a career that very few have mirrored what Baker Mayfield did.
In this game here, it's all about quarterback play, right? This modern game. Man, I feel sorry for this kid at Oklahoma right now, watching him the last couple of weeks. Barry, he doesn't look to me like he belongs out there. or didn't the last couple of weeks. I don't know what his health's like now, but he just didn't look like he could throw the ball where he was aiming it. He looks like the shell of the guy that was out there on the field earlier in the year.
Yeah, he had the broken thumb late in the Auburn game, or I don't know when, as they say, actually early in the Auburn game, but he finished the game. But he has not looked against Texas and Ole Miss how he looked against Michigan and Auburn. And that goes with his running also. He's not scrambling and getting free. And, he was the OU running game in September. They couldn't run the ball worth beans. Now they can, but it's not because of him. His accuracy has not been great, and he's been game, I would say, but just a little bit off. You're right. The accuracy is not there, and it's got to be for them to beat Tennessee.
Yeah, is that when you look at him, right? And is there whispers around it? Because I know you've got all kinds of moles around the deal. Are people second guessing the head coach for playing him here, or is that one of these deals where they really had no choice in that the backup, the kid we saw last year, is just not ready to play?
I lost you for a minute, Tony.
Yeah, Barry Traml joining Tulsa World, 47 years reporting for duty across Sooner Nation and across the great state of Oklahoma. We're talking about Matera's injury. We saw the backup last year against Tennessee, and he had an opportunity this year in one of the directional games. Obviously, they've I don't want to say they've rushed Matera back, but obviously, for some reason, he's out there and he's not even close to being 100%. Nobody can argue that. I wonder how much of that decision came down to what they have at backup quarterback in terms of getting Matera back quickly.
Well, they got the news about Auburn, right? Mm-hmm. The injury against Auburn.
Yep.
They had an open date, and then they had Kent State. And so Michael Hawkins, here he comes. He quarterbacks the Kent State game. And people were pretty optimistic because Hawkins showed a few things. He actually competed pretty well against Tennessee. And then Texas just sort of overwhelmed Oklahoma in every way. And then Hawkins comes out for South Carolina and was just terrible. And they had to be benched and go back to Jackson Arnold. So it was a case of people were optimistic this year. Hey, he was a true freshman last year. He can come out and play. He'll be a lot better. Here's Kent State. He can show what he's got. Audition for next year in case Matera's gone, all that kind of thing. And he was just not very good. Erratic, off target, just not the kind of quarterback you need in the SEC, and that alarmed people. That, I think, expedited Matera's return. The Sooners have made the best of it. They got a nice win at South Carolina. Running game came back. Matera made some plays. He made some plays last week against Ole Miss, the offense wasn't real good, but they scored 26 on Ole Miss.
Yep.
And with this OU offense and this OU defense, can't ask for much more. You shouldn't have to ask for much more. And yet they lost. So we'll see how Matera is. He's taking it all on his own shoulders. He said, it's my fault. I'm just not playing well enough. We'll see. The Tennessee defense is opportunistic, high risk, high reward, it looks to me, but sort of vulnerable. The Heupel's offense is elite. The defense looks susceptible. We'll see if Matera can get some things done.
Barry, how are the Oklahoma fans taking the SEC experience in terms of winning and losing? Certainly we knew it was going to be more difficult than the Big 12, tough sledding, and Texas is finding that out as well. How is that whole thing going? Did they come into this thing with eyes wide open? Are they surprised by it?
The sane people they sort of realize, hey, this is not, 1956, and going unbeaten in the conference is automatic. the sane people realize that 10-2 is a wonderful year. 8-4 is a good year, especially with the schedule that they saddled Brent Venables with these first 2 years. They got the wrong side of it. Here we are on November 1st. There's going to be 3 teams still winless in SEC play. Kentucky, Mississippi State, Arkansas. OU gets to play none of them this year, or got to play none of them last year.
And you know what? Hey, Barry, the Vols have gotten to play all 3 of them. How you like those apples, as we say in the trade?
Well, yeah, I mean, frankly, I did not even realize that. The Sooners here in Oklahoma, everything is just compared to what Texas gets. So Texas got them all 3 or gets them all 3. But the schedule's brutal. So I think most people realize, hey, this is more like the NFL. You don't get mad because for winning your division at 11-6. You celebrate it. So we'll see if when the decisions are made, if Brent has a rough finish to this year, if they go 1-4 down the stretch, finish 7-5, there's going to be a lot of people saying, "Hey, change." The fever is sweeping America. Everybody knows what's going on there.
Yep.
So sometimes things are out of your control, and you become part of the crowd. But I think saner people, I would hope, would see that the program is moving in the right direction. The defensive reputation has been restored. OU has, if not the best defense in the Big 12, in the SEC, one of the best. They've got player retention that's the envy of virtually everyone.
Yes.
They lost hardly anybody of substance off last year's roster. Brent is, Penn State fired James Franklin, LSU fired Brian Kelly, in part because they lost and in part because they just couldn't stand to be around them anymore. And that's not Brent Venables. He's a company man. He's great to work with. Everybody on campus, everybody in town, everybody across the state loves the guy. He has no enemies. And you don't really want to live your life cheering for a guy or working with a guy who you don't really like. So if you got a guy you like, you need to work with him. And I think as long as things are going in the right direction, I think that's what Oklahoma will stick with. But who knows?
That's crazy.
Like I said.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, like with Heupel and all these coaches, right? Josh Heupel is viewed as a guy that's really affable. Everybody likes him. You want to work with guys like that. You want them to succeed. He's not an enemy maker. He's not a wave maker. He does things the right way. He treats people the right way. And in this era, there's something to be said for that. But, man, the clock, like you said, on all these guys, first of all, the money they're making is obscene. And then the money these big-time boosters are paying into these deals is totally obscene. And so they get more and more demanding as they get more and more of a seat at the table. And this is just total madness. If the Oklahoma job opens up this year, and it's Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, Penn State, where does Oklahoma even rank in those openings? Every fan thinks that they're going to get the top choice out there. Every fan of every school. But, Barry, that's just not how it works.
No. And I'd ask them, who's the top choice anyway?
That's exactly right. Who is the top choice? That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's not Urban Meyer sitting out a year waiting for Ohio State to come back.
Right, right.
That's not what's going on. So, I don't. Yeah, if you got a good thing going, and frankly, I don't know, maybe nationally it's better than in-state. I don't know that people appreciate what Brent Venables has done with his defense. I literally thought I'd never see a good OU defense again.
Oh, man.
Because it was so offensive tilted, so the Heisman trophies and the 50 points a game and the overall number 1 draft picks, and Heck, the last 2 or 3 Sundays, 6 of the 32 NFL starting quarterbacks played for the Sooners.
God, that's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler, Dylan Gabriel.
That's nuts.
Rattler got benched yesterday, so it's back to 5 now.
5 out of 32.
But literally for 2 or 3 weeks, they had 6 of the 32 NFL starting quarterbacks. And when you got an NFL starting quarterback, your offense runs up and down the field and scores a bunch of points. But it came at a cost to the defensive acumen and the defensive status. And it was just, mediocrity was about the best you could hope for. And Brent Venables came in, and here in year 4, it's total renovation. OU has the best defensive line in the SEC. I keep saying the Big 12.
Hey, old habits die hard, man.
Yeah, old habits. But got the best defensive line, maybe the best defense, and they now have quality defensive recruits wanting to come to Oklahoma. That hadn't happened in 10, 15, 20 years.
Yep.
And yeah, there are shortcomings. There are things Brent's got to work on. The offense is a little bit of a mess / mystery, but offenses are easier to fix than defenses. And to change the defensive culture and the defensive prowess this quickly, I think, is something that the Sooners have to lean into and build on.
As somebody that's been watching Tim Banks' defense now for 4 or 5 years, offenses are easier to change than defenses. And for an old school guy like you, we like that defense. I like a little defense with my offense. How about the guy, Barry, I've been meaning to ask you this. The guy at USC has kind of failed miserably, and when he loses again, he's going to be on the clock. And he left, and he was haughty, and he took the USC job, and he took some players with him, and he took the Williams kid with him. Boy, he is really flamed out. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I thought he'd be a home run out there. I don't know why. And you know what? Here's what's kooky. Everybody blamed his defense, and the coordinator he had here at his last 2 years at OU, he took him with him, Alex Grinch.
Yep.
People were not big on Alex. He ended up firing Alex. I can't remember if his last offseason or the year before, but Alex didn't last in L.A. Well, Alex Grinch is now the defensive coordinator at UCF, and they're actually a pretty good defense. I chart the Big 12 still because of Oklahoma State, and UCF's defense is pretty good with Alex Grinch. So I don't think it was personnel. I just think it's mindset and attitude and priority. And Brent has changed all that. Lincoln, I think, is trying to at USC, but Brent has changed that at Oklahoma, and It's hard to do. It's hard to do, and he's done it. And now out at USC, Lincoln is realizing, I think, at last that he's going to have to do some of that himself.
I feel for Oklahoma's defense, Barry, because they should be unbeaten. They're really kind of an unbeaten football team on defense. That's the level they're playing at. That's a borderline national championship caliber defense that they have. I mean, they get teams in games. That Texas game, eventually you're going to wither. When you are on the field, as long as you are, you're going to give up a play or two, to be fair to those guys. But, man, these games have been street fights. That Auburn game, in my years of watching SEC football, is one of the more violent football games I've seen in my life. Those two teams were hammering, and I mean hammering each other. It was unreal, the level of hitting that Oklahoma does. But in this game, doing some research, right? I understand from talking to one of your compadres from the Tulsa world, Mason Young, who joined us, that the safety play from Oklahoma has been kind of spotty, which leads me to believe that the Vols are going to be able to hit some deep balls on these guys. Should I have that expectation, or is that foolhardy on my part?
Well, no, it sounds like, clearly Joey Aguilar has been, just a manna from heaven everybody wrote off the Vols because of the quarterback deal in the spring. Turns out Joey Aguilar is a very good quarterback and has been very productive, and Tennessee's got the 2 or 3 high caliber wide receivers. So I think I don't think Tennessee will be able to run much, but I do think they are very capable of hitting some home runs. Basically, OU popped Ole Miss most of the downs. If you just go look at the plays, OU's defense won most of the plays, the majority of the plays against Mississippi. But Ole Miss hit them for 3 or 4 big plays, often on 3rd and long, and that leads to 3 or 4 touchdowns and kick a couple field goals, and you got 34 points, and you've won a game. So I do think that's where they are susceptible is the defensive backfield. It's not just the safeties. The corners are a little bit, they've been playing most of the year with a true freshman corner. He's been really good, but he's a true freshman corner. So I think, we got the chance for a team of OU's defensive acumen. I think we're probably going to be similar to the Ole Miss game. Both teams into the 20s.
That's right.
If somebody gets to 30, they win.
That's exactly right. That's how I view this game. I think the first 31 wins a game. And here's the ultimate question for you, because you're an inside guy. Like, you brought us inside that Heupel feud last year and the whole thing with Stoops and just all that stuff. And you've been very forthcoming about it. Extremely interesting. After last year's game, you say some of that is healed. How much of that still lingers? And what is that relationship like now, if they even have one, between Heupel and Stoops? Do they have one now, or is it still kind of icy and frosty?
Well, I have not come across any new information in several months, or maybe even going back to last autumn. But I know this, a couple things, and I told you this. It was melting in recent years, and Stoops has offered some olive branches. Heupel has been counseled to let it go. And when you have the success he had, counting winning in Norman, counting making the playoffs, I think he realizes he's landed a pretty good spot in life. Rocky Top is not it's not a bad place to be, especially when you've proven you know what you're doing. So there's really maybe Heupel can be mad at 2 people in Norman, but he can't be mad at Brent Venables. He can't be mad at his old teammates who hold him in such high regard. I wrote about that just this week, how much his teammates appreciate all he did for that 2000 team. I think Josh still holds a grudge, but I think he also knows that needs to go away, and I think a lot of it has, and time will get most of that. Hopefully, all of it.
Yep.
I can. If they fired Venables, I assume Heupel would be the first person called, and I would assume Josh would say no.
Yep.
But I think eventually this is just going to be an old story we tell, without any new or modern evidences that it still lingers. But some of it probably does linger, and some of this is just Josh's personality.
Oh, no question. He's a highly competitive guy. He's an elephant. People that are around him say Josh Heupel does not forget, and he's a type of guy that drives him, Barry. That drives this guy.
Yeah, probably so. But he's still got family here. His brother-in-law is the former U.S. House of Representative, the son.
That's interesting.
Of longtime OU president David Bourne. This guy, no matter how he feels, he's going to be part Okie all his life.
No doubt about it. You don't go there and win a national championship like he did.
No.
Here's the thing about this college football stuff. You talk to these guys that accomplish things, right? I was visiting with Al Wilson about this, on a real hero on Tennessee's 1998 national championship team. Those guys, those memories, those things, when you accomplish something like that, are always a part of you when you wake up in the morning. They're always a part of you. I mean, you're not going to undo something like that, no matter how hard you try. Here's a question for you. Let's say Oklahoma does do an ill-fated thing and they let this coach go at the end of the year. Do you think that Heupel and he have a relationship as such that he could end up on this staff here? Is that a possibility?
I don't think so. I don't think Brent's at a point in his life where he wants to do that. I'm not telling any secrets. His wife has been battling cancer for 2 years.
Okay.
He's got 2 daughters in high school. If that had been the case 4 years ago when Oklahoma hired him, I don't think he'd have even put his name in. I think he would have stayed at Clemson.
Oh, man.
I don't think he's at a point where he wants to do any upheaval in his life and take on any new challenges. When you're a head coach, the one thing that happens is you got financial security that most of us can't even dream about.
That's right.
If he's not coaching the Sooners next year, I think he's probably 100% in on his family. So a year or two after that, who knows? Hopefully Julie gets a lot better. The girls are out of the house. Maybe things are different. But he's a heck of a defensive coordinator. There's not any doubt about that.
Barry, on the way out, how do you think the game plays out Saturday? It's a very, very interesting game.
I think it's a case of the Sooners will play tough. I think the Vols will play tough. I think yards will be hard to come by, maybe for both teams, and then the big plays will determine it. That's what happened against Ole Miss.
Barry, much love to you. If folks want to interact with you, read your work, how do they do so? And it's always great to talk to you, my man.
You bet. TulsaWorld.com. That's the best way to find me.
Thank you, my man. Great talking
to you.
See
you later.
The great Barry Traml one more time. Hey, Sean, I have a feeling this game is going to be a lot like that Ole Miss game last week. These teams are going to crash into each other, and whoever gives up the big play is going to be the team that loses. My hope is that Tennessee's able to get some deep pass plays over their safeties, which means they've got a great defensive line. There are people in our YouTube chat that are diminishing Oklahoma's defense. Y'all are nuts. These guys can really play. We would take their defense tomorrow. And if we had their defense, we'd be undefeated, and we'd be working on winning a national championship. So don't fool yourself. These guys can really play on defense. Cinco, how do you see it? What do you think?
Well, I think you're right. I think it's going to be very entertaining for the neutral watcher. I think it's going to be very I think both fans are going to be on the edge of their seats. I think that, I'm not trying to be smart aleck, and as one guy asserted on a website, I'm the voice of the Negavols, which I absolutely dispute that.
You are not, but go ahead.
This defense spots you 3 touchdowns before you even kick off, so it kind of is what it is.
Yep.
I don't like the fact that it's that irresistible force, immovable object type deal. Our offense is fantastic. I mean, it really is, and our passing game is maybe even better than fantastic. And our offensive line is playing a lot better than most people, including me, thought. Their defense is fantastic, and their defensive line is very good. So that's going to be interesting. Their offense is kind of not great, even though I still think Mateer is a playmaker.
Yeah.
You said last week that, he was wildly inaccurate. If we're honest, you as a quarterback, you really don't have to be that accurate against our defense. No one's around to cover you.
No, you're right. When you're that wide open.
And I don't like the fact that Mateer is very good with it. Now, coming off 3, maybe he came back early. This was the projected game he was always supposed to be back.
That's right.
And so I I don't like his legs. I just don't like him. I don't like the way.
In other words, us stopping guys like this. I think it's going to be
exciting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a crazy game. I don't know if it's going to be high scoring, low scoring. I think it's going to be first one to 31 wins is my sense. I called last week's game at halftime right on the number in terms of how it was going to finish. We're going to get a really good indication in the first half in terms of how this thing's going to look. Our defense against their offense is an interesting battle of futility. No offense to our defense and no offense to their offense. And our offense against their defense are two excellent units in college football. So I guess either the way the best perform against the best or the way the worst of each team performs against the worst is going to determine the outcome. But generally, like Barry said, and Barry's right about this, these SEC games when these teams are like this generally come down to 3 or 4 big plays. Who's going to make them? We're going to come back on the other side. I want to remind you, Friday, it is Fan Run Friday down at Calhoun's all day. We're there from 11 to 1. William Pattison from 1 to 3. Dubsy and the gang from 3 to 6, and then we're playing music. So other than that, I don't know much as we continue with more on the other side. Come on down and join us for the pate. And I might just come as George the Animal Steel. I might paint my tongue and eat a turnbuckle for everybody as we continue with more. Maybe tape some hair on my back as well after this.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly.
Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, Living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Join Fan Run Radio for a super spooky Halloween party at Calhoun's on the River this Friday starting at 11 a.m. Tony Basilio will be broadcasting live from the deck from 11 to 1, followed by William Pattison and the Playbook from 1 to 3, and The Drive from 3 to 6. Stop by for lunch or dinner and sign up for the Fan Run Box, which we'll be giving away at 6 p.m. live on the air. It's the Dark Mode Can't Miss Halloween special that'll have you more scared than John Mateer trying to get away from Josh Josephs in front of 100,000. Halloween, live from the iconic Calhoun's on the River this Friday. Be there.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Boy, I hope Tennessee's defense comes dressed as defense on Saturday night. They go out, it's either going to be a trick or a treat, and not much in between. Watson Brown joins us, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. You bow thy head when you say thy name. Two traditions, one dating back to 1888, and I don't think that's Watson Brown. But Watson, are you, huh? 1888, a little before your time, Watson. What do you think?
I'm old, Tony, but I'm not that old.
You're never old. You better stop, man.
Believe me.
Hey, well, you're familiar with this Oklahoma bunch. You were there. Very proud people. They have a great defense, and they have an offense, Watson, that's pretty offensive. We had Barry Traml on. I know a guy you know. Last segment. Barry,
good man.
Great man.
Good man.
Barry was saying, now I asked him, why are they playing this quarterback who's not ready? And he did not shirk away from it. You know, this guy's. How do you hide a guy, Watson, that is that hurt on a football field in this league? How do you do that?
Well, you're desperate. That's the only thing it can be, and it's got to be they just don't believe in that the backup can't win for them. And this is such a huge year for Brent and the Oklahoma football team, and they're still right in the mix and all that. So they're desperate, and it's like when I got injured in my junior year, and they kept trying to play me. They knowing I was injured, and they'd put me back out, and I'd last about 3 plays or so or something. And it's just you believe in the guy so much, and you just all you can see is a healthy Mateer, and he's not. And I told you off the air, I had a quarterback at East Carolina, a really good player named Mike Weaver. Matter of fact, I talked to him yesterday. It's amazing that he called me. We caught up a little bit, but he broke his thumb, and Tony, it was a good 6 weeks. It just a good 6 weeks before he was anywhere close to being able to get back to me and have had a chance to play. And it's just not fair to this young man, but he is tougher nails. I watch him. He don't make excuses. He gets up and he goes again. He's a winner. And anytime you got one like that, even injured, look out, because and every week that goes by, he's going to get a wee bit better. But it's just putting too much on the whole team. And it's just got to be, they just believe in him so much, and they don't think the guy behind him is ready to be the guy yet.
The crazy thing is, not only is the guy hurt, but he still plays that style, that reckless, abandoned style.
He's a winner. He's tougher nails.
Yeah.
He's a winner. There's no doubt in my mind. I feel sorry for him because I promise you, he begged them to let him play.
I know.
I promise you he did. This wasn't a talk into playing deal.
And against Ole Miss,
he's talking the coaches into letting him play. I promise you, I know these kind of kids.
Against Ole Miss late, he's just not capable of making plays. He
can't. It won't come out of his hand right.
No.
Ball will not come out of his hand.
Sailing.
It's not spinning right.
That's right.
It's coming out kind of a pushed ball instead of that flip. That last thing to touch the ball is your index finger and the thumb.
Yep.
And that's the last two things that touch the ball as it leaves your hand. And it's just not coming out with any velocity at all, Tony.
And it's got to hurt like crazy, right, to throw a ball with a broken
thumb? It does. And don't think he ain't hurt when he gets hit on it, too.
Oh.
When he gets tackled and he's going to the ground or a helmet catches it right. I mean, he's carrying the ball in his right hand, so that if he's getting hit on that ball a bunch, you tackle that way. You tackle the ball.
Watson,
and he carries the ball in his right hand when he runs, and he's still getting 10 carries a game. I mean, I feel for him, but I got so much respect for that kid, and not once have I read him using that as an excuse. Not one time.
So
he just will not do it.
Here's a question.
We all got to respect that now.
This Mateer guy gets nothing. Just like Oklahoma's defense, people are telling me in our chats over here on YouTube that their defense isn't very good. That's Barbara Streisand. Their defense is excellent. Now, Tennessee might make some plays over them. Tennessee might hit some big plays over them. But everything else in between, they're going to have to really earn because their linebackers are good. Their defensive line's really good. I mean, that's a solid unit that walks out there meaning business. The Mateer guy, though, Watson, when I watch him, and let me ask you this. You're preparing for this game. You're in Tennessee's room. You're the head coach. Are you telling your defensive coordinator, hey, this week, guys, let's try to get the ball out of his hands. Let's tackle the ball. Let's try to take the ball away. Let's hit him. Let's try to take advantage of the thumb. Is that talked about behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, but that's what you teach all the time. That's the way you tackle. You're in the spring, in preseason, tackle the ball. Put your helmet right here. Use this shoulder and put your helmet right on the football. That's normal stuff. But again, as important as he is to that team, they're telling him he's got a sore thumb now, and it's going to be right on that football. So just do your thing and go after it, and let's get in his head a little bit here, because I don't care how tough you are. You get hit enough times, it just wears you down. It don't make you into a wimp or anything, but it wears you down as a quarterback, and it's just natural to get you just get tired of getting hit, man, and all of a sudden you start flinching a little bit, and that's just natural. That's a natural process of a quarterback. I played the position, so I know it sounds I'm prejudiced, but I always thought it's the toughest. You have to be mentally and physically tough to play that position. It's a different kind of toughness. You're not getting to swing back as a quarterback. You're getting hit, and you got to throw through the hit, or you got to do this. You never get to be on the aggressive side. So you're always having to protect yourself. My quarterback coaches all the way through my career always said, one of the main things you do is mentally you play the next play and physically you play the next play. Mentally meaning, I don't care if it's a good play or bad, forget it and get on to the next one.
Yeah.
Physically, protect yourself to where you can play the next play. So that was taught to me from high school up. And so it's tough on Oklahoma. I feel so sorry for Oklahoma because he was playing lights out.
Oh, he was very good, yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He was one of the top guys. Matter of fact, I think when he got hurt, he was the top Heisman guy at the time.
But you know
what?
To
come back and play 2.5 weeks later
on
that thumb, I said, bet the house there's no way he plays well against Texas. No way. No way he can. So, but it's been a couple more weeks, and just look out. This one scares me a little bit. It scares me a little bit because Oklahoma, when he's healthy, when he gets Black Coast healthy, was going to be one of the better teams in the SEC. Without him, they're not.
It's a Wednesday.
They got to rely on defense, but this game to me is it's just Tennessee's got to win out. They have got to win out to get in my opinion, and there's pressure to that, and so you got to go out and play the next one. And there's also more in it for Josh. I don't care what you say. There's more in it.
I want to ask you about that. I want to ask you about that. So Mark Griffin asked me Monday, and I texted you right on the spot that day. But here's what I texted you. You got last year's game in the rearview mirror, and that was a very big win for you at the time. But now you've got a game. It's an elimination game in your building, and the last thing you want to do is let the personal stuff come in. How hard is it to keep the personal stuff from coming in? You're talking about a guy that went to the podium up in New York, or was one of the guys invited to New York as a Heisman deal. You're talking about a guy that won a national championship at the school, an all-time legend there, and really that was their last natty a quarter century ago. You're talking about a guy that we know is extremely with his. He's like an elephant. He stores things away. He's a highly competitive guy. How do you block out all that noise when you're in this spot and you're playing an elimination game, essentially, a playoff the first of several, an elimination game. You might have one with Vanderbilt later in the year, but all these games for Tennessee are elimination
one with Florida
games.
too.
That's right.
Elimination for Tennessee. Florida's out, but
so here we are.
They're all elimination for Tennessee the rest of the way.
But how do you
they got two losses?
How do you let the Oklahoma thing
not
creep in? How hard is it?
It's hard, but yet I always did better in those games. The extra incentive to want to do good just would add more to it to me. I seem to relax more in those. I went back to Oklahoma. I think it's the hardest thing to go to the back to where you were instead of playing somebody at your place. It's harder because you got so many friends that are going to find you. They're going to come to the hotel. They're going to come if you're having to walk through at the stadium. They're going to find you, and so and they're good friends. It's personal, man. But that was the hardest to me. But once game time came, we nearly beat Oklahoma at UAB when I went back. I mean, we played great football that night. The little extra pieces just were always made me better. I think it will him too because he's a competitor. And he knows what's involved in this, but don't dare think he won't ever say it. He won't say it after the game. But don't you dare think that he don't want to win with this one in a personal way, along with a professional way. It's just good or bad. You go back from a bad situation. I had to go back and play Vanderbilt at UAB the first year we were Division I. We were nowhere close to being ready to play an SEC team. We'd already played Auburn and Nebraska, by the way. But we played them a good game. We played them a really good game. And that Friday, all the friends coming up to me and everything brought back all those memories, man. And it's my alma mater that fired me. But once the game starts, I just think you're even into it even better. So I would think it's a plus for Tennessee playing Oklahoma in that way this week.
So it locks him in other words. You think in your mind it locks him in that much more.
I'm not saying you're not locked in all the time, but I don't know. It's an inner piece.
Sure.
It's an inner piece that hits you.
Sure.
We're going to get these. We're going to get these.
Sure.
And it's an interpersonal piece that nobody knows but you. It was never discussed with a staff member. It was never discussed with players. I would never even dare bring that up.
Right.
When they would bring it up, I would just nix it immediately. Guys, it's another game. Let's go get this one.
Yeah.
I just didn't, but in my inner piece to get to go back and play a place good or something that happened bad. I can remember coming to Tennessee and playing Phillip.
Yeah.
At UAB, and we played them right up to the end to win the game. There's all kind of pieces like that are personal, just all kinds of them. And the only one I never liked was playing my brother. I had to play him once, and I didn't like that. That one I didn't care for much. I don't think either one of us did. But other than that, Tony, I think he'll be locked in. Not that he isn't always.
High stakes.
But man, it's going to be a good game now. Oklahoma's defense is the Tennessee defense at some point has got to step up better. They've just got to.
Okay, I'll take your
word
because
now it's going down to the wire where you can't. I'm not sure Tennessee's offense. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Alabama. That would be my four offenses. I'm not sure Tennessee's not the best one of the four, especially at home. When they play at home now, they are something special. I expect them to have a big offensive game against a good Oklahoma defense, but a defense that got took pretty good last week.
Yep.
Now, how's Oklahoma respond? Are they going to come madder than the Dickens and come back and play? I watched the Commanders play the other night against, who were they playing? The Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they had got embarrassed the week before. They played so much better the next game. So how does that Oklahoma defense come to Knoxville? It's going to be real interesting to see.
Sean Sinclair, we'll jump you in here momentarily. I want to remind the living listener, this is Wednesday with Watson Brown. Kids, don't try this at home. And if you do, don't try it in mixed company, because the great Watson Brown is joined by our friends at Simpson's Meats. And they raise and source their meat from farms that are on pasture on purpose. And they're comfortably continuing a tradition that began in 1888 on my main man Jim Simpson's farm. That was back in the day now, several generations. And what are you going to take? You're going to taste the difference. The steaks, the burgers, the sausages, the roast, the chicken. variety of local offerings at their butcher shop, from milk, honey, jam, eggs, you name it. The best from our Tennessee community. And if you're looking to buy in bulk, hey, that's wonderful. They've got half and quarter cows. I would imagine that Tennessee's offensive line, they do a job this week on that Oklahoma bunch. A half a cow could be consumed by that offensive line, but the steaks make a great gift. Gift box is available as well. You ship at Premium Meat anywhere in the world. Watson's had it. He's getting ready to get another shipment from simpsonsmeats.com. And also check out their store, West Knoxville off Level Road. Sean Sinclair, jump into our conversation here on a Wednesday with Watson Brown.
Coach, I often ask you to put the head coach hat back on, and I'm going to do it again today. If you're Josh Heupel, or when you were head coach and your defense was struggling, and there's no question they're struggling, by any measure, by any stat, they're just not performing well against a relatively, aside from Georgia and Alabama, one of the easier SEC schedules. So you've got it's nut cutting time, and you've got, like you said, you've got to show up. As a head coach, what's your tact here? Are you asking them? Are you using embarrassment? Are you using encouragement? The guys are beat up right now? Everybody is. Are you digging into their pride? Are you focusing on practice techniques? Because I'm seeing a lot of things that just aren't getting done because of effort or want to. So I throw that in your court.
Well, I don't know that I ever had one I felt that. Sometimes we were just underdogs, and it's harder, Sean, when you're not as good on the defensive side. You can tinker around on offense and find ways to score points. When you're not very good on defense, you're just not very good on defense. I'm not sure how good they are. I don't think they're near what they were last year. I can remember last year's game when he went to Norman, and it's proved to me that how much a head coach he was, and his ego wasn't going to get in the way. They got the lead, and he played that second half to that defense. He played to the defense, and the score stayed about what it was, but he knew that Oklahoma wasn't very good, and he could run the table by letting his defense go ahead and win the game. They had enough points to do it, and so he got more conservative, and it worked. They won the game. This year, I don't think he can do that. I'm not sure that my way was never to embarrass somebody or a group. That's me. That doesn't mean it's the right way by any means. I lost my share of games, so I can't say, but that was never my way. I always tried to say, put the tape on and be in there with the whole defense. I told y'all last week, I was with defensive coaches at least an hour every day, and then I would be in defensive team meetings some with the defense, with all the defensive coaches in there. And I would just want to put the tape on and show, okay, we do this better here. If we do this better here. Those type is the way. But the other thing, Sean, I think he's got to think about is, how do you play to a defense that's not playing well? You got one or two choices. You say, we can outscore this team. I don't care how many they get. We can outscore them. Or you got to shorten the game. You got to shorten the game like the Vanderbilts of the world do. You shorten the game and try to win it in the fourth quarter. So that's what, to me, he's having to do down the stretch here. It's proven that they're not great on defense. It's a complete opposite team of last year. And so what's he going to do? Is he going to go in to play Oklahoma and Knoxville and say, we're going to outscore you, we're going fast, and we're going to outscore you? Or is he going to mix it up and slow it down and try to just get it to the fourth quarter and win the game? I can't wait to watch to see what he decides to do. Last week, he knew he could outscore Kentucky, and he went after them and did. So what's he going to do this week? And I think he'll let it loose. That's what I think he's going to do. Which would be different than last year's game completely.
They let it rip, try to hit some big plays, try to put some distance between themselves and the Sooners.
They went for it last week.
Live happily ever after, yeah.
They went for it. They knew Kentucky couldn't stay with them. They could not score enough points to win that game if Tennessee's on offense, and they were. I'm telling you, Aguilar, They got to keep doing what they're doing with him. I mean, he is one of the best deep ball throwers in the country. His accuracy on deep balls is really, really good.
Why is that, Watson?
And,
why is that when you watch him?
I think he knows how to do it. He's got a knack of having a nice touch, but yet throwing it a long ways. And he doesn't overthrow very many. If you watch, I talked about that to y'all weeks back. He does not overthrow the deep ball very often. Every once in a while he will. But very often, very seldom does he overthrow the deep ball, and he's got bona fide guys. This group is right there with a Hendon Hooker group of receivers that he
How
has.
important?
This group is right there with him now. And this offensive line is really playing well. The Tennessee offense is not getting enough credit. They are really good.
Going to be really tested this week. Go ahead, Brian.
How important was a quarterback who could throw a deep ball like that when you were recruiting them? Is that something that you – what kind of emphasis, how far was that either up or down on your list when you were looking for a quarterback?
I was always, Brian, a touch guy, a sense of timing and touch guy. I didn't go out to find the guy that could throw it 70 yards. Matter of fact, I always told my quarterbacks, I don't want the ball ever in the air over 45 yards. If you're throwing on time, that ball's going to land somewhere around 45 to 50 yards at the most, right in there. I said, I don't want no 60 and 70-yard throws. Throw it on time, and it's going to land somewhere around 40, 45 yards. And I think you can teach touch on a deep ball. I do. I think I've been able to – quarterback coaches, not me, but quarterback coaches have been able to change some guys. But I never wanted just a bullet strong arm guy because he was the hardest one to ever coach touch to. And that is not an easy thing to do. So, but no, he's good, real good. It's natural, but I think they're teaching him well too. His sense of timing is so much better than Nico's was last year. Nico may be better this year. Hadn't seen him much. But his sense of timing is so much better than what they've been playing with here last year and the year before.
So how's it going to go, Watson? What's going to happen in this game? What do you think?
I think they win. I think they're going to win. I just don't think Oklahoma can stay with them. They'll get their points one way or the other, unless Mateer all of a sudden looks like Mateer did.
That's Sean's fear.
3-0.
Yeah,
but yeah,
because if he runs
looks
around
like he did 4 weeks ago, then look out, it could be a hell of a game.
And
with him the way he's been playing, I just don't think they can score enough points. They couldn't at home against Ole Miss.
I agree with that.
They could not. They just couldn't score enough points, and I think that'll be the difference again. Tennessee will get their points. Oklahoma will give them shots for big plays because Oklahoma is not going to play bend but not break. They're not going to do that.
They're going to man you.
They just can't. That's not their style. So now they did that in the second half last year a little bit, but it was different. That was just so different, and I don't think they'll play them that way this year. They didn't play Ole Miss that way. They came after them a bunch.
Hey, Watson, Sean and I were talking Wednesday with Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. When you're as bad as we are at zone defense, why are they still doing it? Like at some point, you coordinating a team at one unit on a side of a football, and you're just not good at something, and they keep doing. Watson, that stuff we saw with Kentucky, and I'm not trying to crack on anybody here, but we've got guys that won't even use the boundary to tackle people downfield. It's Division I football, man. You're in the SEC.
As I said, when you're not good on defense, it's hard to change it around.
Good.
But you keep working. You've got to keep working on the fundamentals, man. You've got to keep working on pursuit angles, tackling angles. What I see is I just don't think they believe in coverage to where they can do things he's done in the past.
Yep.
And jump on you and play you. And so it's a different style than I think they really, as Tennessee, I'm saying they, in the whole staff and from Josh down, I don't think it's the style they really want to play, but they nearly got to. But if they just improve the tackling and keep the ball in front of them, Tony, they would do a better job.
Dominic
so
Bailey,
I keep hoping to see them get better. I see some talent, but they don't look like they're real athletic overall for some reason, and that bothers me a little bit. That's a toughie. When you're not athletic across the board to make those plays, man, the best part of their defense is their defensive front, and it's the pass rush of the defensive front. That's the best part of the defense of what I've seen. But I see linebackers missing a lot of tackles, safeties missing a lot of tackles, and that's where you got to get on the field and keep working on that stuff. That's what you got to do, because if you try to go and say, okay, let's put in this defense this week, that'll get embarrassing. If you do that, when you're trying to do something you haven't done and you haven't practiced, you got to rely on what you've done and get the reps on what you're doing and try to get better at it. That's all you can do.
Talking to Sean a second ago, right? Because Dominic Bailey said we don't tackle well. Monday at the press conference, he said we're just not good at it, and we need to work on it. But these guys don't hit anymore in practice. You don't hit like you used to.
No.
So how do you do it? How do we get better? How do we get better at tackling when we're not hitting each other?
Well, you go out when it gets to a point, you will go out and take a chance. And it's like when I was talking about the Commanders, I read what the coach said at the Commanders, and he said, "We don't do this in the NFL, but we went out on Tuesday and we flat had a bloodbath. We got after each other."
How about that?
The first offense went against the first defense.
Yep.
And we had a very competitive practice. There's a point you just take your chances and do it. It's hard to teach tackling without tackling. That's why I see defenses all over the country missing tackles, because you just can't take those chances of the practices aren't as physical as they were back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
They're just not. They're not as physical as they were. You've had to back off. You want your players healthy. That's one of the hardest decisions I always had to make, spring, preseason, and during the season. How much do you physically get after your team? And can you do it? And you get in the SEC where you're beat up and then you got to play another one. Then you play another one the next week. You have a tendency to back off. And, man, it's easy for somebody on the outside to say, you don't tackle enough, you're not physical enough in practice. I'm telling you, man, that's hard to pull that trigger. It's hard to pull that trigger. You go out there and you do that, and you lose your best defensive lineman on a Tuesday. You're throwing up while you're on the field. It's a bad feeling, man.
Watson, you're my main man. Anything else you'd care to add on the way out? You've been a gentleman and a scholar, my brother.
No, it's going to the wire now, guys. This is when it gets fun.
Yeah.
These last 4 games, Tennessee's got 3. A lot of them still have 4. And I don't care if you're favored or you're not. When you're in the heat of the battle of all this, like there's a bunch of them still, that's a pressure game, man. And those are fun to watch. They are absolutely fun to watch. And look at Vanderbilt. They played South Carolina, and the quarterback don't play the second half. They played Missouri, and the quarterback don't play the second half. They're playing Texas, and the quarterback may not play at all.
Might not play at all.
Sometimes it just falls your way. Yep. But you know what? You still got to go win that game.
Tennessee's got to win a game.
Vanderbilt found a way to beat Missouri. It wasn't pretty at all.
Yep.
I watched that one because Tennessee was playing later in the day. But
they
didn't. But they won the game, and that's what you got to do down the stretch. You just got to figure out how to win. Let everybody else talk about the prettiness of it or the ugliness of it. Get off the field with a victory and get on to the next one.
In this deal right now, there are no style points.
No, none. Zero. Nothing but what these players call it now, get a dub. It's the dub, man. That's what they call it now.
And you know the truth is, Tennessee's defense can't play in the first. You and I both know that. But they're tracking for a playoff spot. And if they get in with this defense, that would be a miraculous coaching job, in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
let's just call this what it is.
We don't see them get a little better.
I agree with
They're
that.
They're going to have to improve.
I agree with that. Got to get better. Because if you
They've
don't...
got to figure out a way to play just a little bit better.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit better. Just quit giving up all the big plays.
That thing with it, a couple of those
big
plays...
Make them drive the ball down the field. And
you.
Don't give up the big plays so much.
Watson, I love you. You're the man. Hey, by the way, do you believe that Nick Sabin is going to flirt with LSU rumors that are out there? Do you believe that?
No.
I don't either.
No. he can't do that.
There's no way, right?
If he does, I'd be disappointed because all that he did for Alabama and the pride of all that.
Yep.
The statue of him, and then you go back to the arch rival. I just, man, I can't see it. I just can't see it.
Do they rip his statue down, Watson? Is that what they do?
They're going to. Yeah.
like that square into Crete
it would just tarnish everything he did for him. I just can't see him doing that.
Thank you, Watson.
And he's 73 years old.
You're the man. Love you.
Love y'all too. It's always an honor.
The great Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpsons Meats. Hey, Cinco, how would you tear Sabin's lifelike statue down? Would you need like one of those little step ladders?
You wouldn't need a huge ladder.
To pull on the top of the head?
You may not need any ladder.
And would it look like over there in Tikrit when they pulled the statue down of Saddam with people cheering and whatnot?
I don't know, but once it comes down, I'm getting out of the way. I don't want any of that hair dye on me.
That's a great line. It's Kiwi Shoe Polish number 4. Kelly Holcomb, you're a punk and a clown for saying that I should go out for Halloween looking like Uncle Fester. It's not appreciated. He's not going to do that, is he, Cinco? Because there's reverberations today, all kinds of rumors out there bubbling that Sabin may be interested in that LSU gig. You don't buy that, do you, Sean?
I don't understand why. I mean, he's already cemented himself as the greatest of all time.
Yep.
I mean, he's opening up new car dealerships. His legacy can only be tarnished. It can't be improved upon. Mm-hmm. And like Brian said during one of the breaks, it's very few times does the second go around match the initial one.
Is the man bored? That's the only thing we don't know, right? Is he bored?
I don't think so, because I know he's like a robot.
Yeah.
On that game day set.
Yeah.
But he still laughs and smiles more than any time I've ever seen him.
He's excellent at it.
I think he is having some fun.
I think he's terrific on television. I think the tension between him and that McAfee guy is hilarious, and I got time for it. By the way, my friends at VIP Play, I'm cashing checks. Last night, I told you the Jays were winning last night. Ohtani is still... I wish we celebrated baseball like we once did, because Ohtani would be on the tip of everybody's tongue all over the United States of America, but we don't watch baseball like we once did. I talk in the blog today how in the summer of '78, how Pete Rose captivated America. I'll never forget that. It was so important. The hitting streak was so important to the public consciousness, our sports consciousness, and that type of thing just doesn't exist anymore. We're fractured and fragmented. And Laura looked at me last night, and I said, "Did you just see that play?" Because we had 2 TVs on in our room. And she said, "You are not watching that stupid hockey game while the World Series is on." Brian, do you like that encouragement I got from her? She said, "I cannot believe you're watching that." I was sweating the Flyers last night, Bri. In October,
I wouldn't be watching that if there was no World Series on.
In October, Bri. In October, Bri. Anyway, my friends at VIP Play, go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus right now. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly in the promo code, and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. Again, TN Tony. Remember, 200 leagues to bet on, live always, all around the world. Numerous types of bets for you, props and options. They've got you. And over at VIP Play, whether you're betting $10 or $1,000, everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. And we come back with more on your other side, breaking it down scientifically, moving right to left across your device, and taking calls. We open it up for you right after this.
Sabir on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow, I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Join Fan Run Radio for a super spooky Halloween party at Calhoun's on the River this Friday starting at 11 a.m. Tony Basilio will be broadcasting live from the deck from 11 to 1, followed by William Pattison and the Playbook from 1 to 3, and The Drive from 3 to 6. Stop by for lunch or dinner and sign up for the Fan Run Box, which we'll be giving away at 6 p.m. live on the air. It's the Dark Mode Can't Miss Halloween special that'll have you more scared than John Mateer trying to get away from Josh Josephs in front of 100,000. Halloween, live from the iconic Calhoun's on the River this Friday. Be there.
I like that, Russell. Halloween. Me gusta Halloween as I welcome you back. 865-200-5402. All right, Sink, let's talk. Over on the blog at tclub.team today, we lay it out scientifically. C, help me with this. All the openings you have. And look, I know people are mad at Heupel over the defense and this and that. I like stability, because stability gives you a chance to cherry pick in this sport if you will go that route, right? And what I mean is, when all these jobs open up, not only are those jobs going to open, but jobs down the line are going to open. And if you go to the blog today, we give you a pretty good roadmap of what we think is going to happen or could happen at this point in time. Now, obviously, if a Sabin gets involved, things like that, wild card things, these teams go to the NFL, and like a Joe Brady to LSU, that doesn't have an impact. Even though the LSU job opens up for a while, and there might be some guys off that roster you could cherry pick. I mean, we got a pretty good tackle on our offensive line off LSU a couple years ago, so that's not without precedent. But you got LSU, Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and Stanford all open. Then you've got, that's 8 openings, but you've got Florida State, Auburn, Kentucky, NC State, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Baylor, Cal, and Colorado, due to Deion Sanders' health, probably going to open as well. So that's
South Carolina?
And South Carolina's in there too. Yes, South Carolina, because South Carolina becomes the other another team to watch. And then you start guesstimating where guys go, right? Like Eli Drinkafith might get the Florida job before it's over. That means you can go raid Missouri. Maybe you can pull that young quarterback off Missouri's roster. I don't know. But certainly they have defensive players you would like. Matt Rule has got it going at Nebraska a little bit. Does Penn State come a calling on him? once they slide down their board. If that happens, Nebraska's got young players there. You've got to be, if you're Tennessee, doing your homework on all these teams. Auburn, Summerall from Tulane. Is there anybody on Auburn's roster you want? Is there anybody on Tulane's roster you want? Comrade Golish could end up, we think, at Arkansas, or maybe Matt Campbell. Do either one of those teams have guys that you have your eyes on? And if you're doing your due diligence right now, you're playing the 3D chess if you're Josh Heupel. You can't sit there like last year and just wait. You got to be doing what Tennessee basketball does, which is start having these conversations with people right now. Right now, 5 weeks ahead of time. Hey, son, your coach might be leaving you at the end of the year. We're interested in talking to you. Cinco, do you have a thought on the cycle that we could see here in this craziness? Give me your thoughts, and then we'll go to the phones.
Well, I think it's just going to be pure upheaval. I think even more schools are going to open up simply because fans are going to demand it. Athletic directors are tired of seeing mediocrity. And that's where I think South Carolina is right now. They were thought to be with Sellers, thought to be a big player this year, and they're obviously not. My concern is that I hear what you're saying is I think the biggest recruiting you got to do this year is with your millionaires and billionaires. Nick Sabin said something the other day that was very interesting. He said that he was asked about top jobs, LSU, Florida, are these the top jobs? And he said, well, a top job used to be the jobs that had the best facilities, the best fan support, best administration, best weather, whatever. He said now the fact of the matter is the best job is the school that has the most money to spend on roster creation. And so, we've been clamoring for the past couple of years about let's get these contracts in line. Let's get this failure money. You can forget all that. I don't care what the NCAA says about revenue sharing, NIL. The prices are going to skyrocket during this switchover.
You mean the prices in the college market?
Absolutely.
Players, get the coaches.
We had guys that left here last year. Now, obviously, the kid at Miami's having a nice job, but Jason Jenkins. We had backups that are hardly even playing anywhere else or playing with hardly any notoriety. But just to go get more money, that's going to happen more and more. These offers, whether they're assuming they're real offers, are just going to keep increasing. And so, it's you can go recruit all you want, but it's becoming apparent to me that it's just a bottom line money game.
Sure, and that's why I say, if you're Tennessee, you go visit with your wealthy people and you say, look, we want to put a defense on the field. And you know how many players we need, Sean, on defense next season, 2025? What's the number, Sean? I mean, let's get real here.
Well, you're going to how about you 8? Got some young guys, but you're going to have to go in and get 8 to 10 established guys, I think. But here's the other thing, though. Look, I am not this guy. But if you're going to go to a savvy guy that's got a lot of money or lady that's got a lot of money, the first question they're going to ask is, why am I going to give you a whole bunch of money to go get players that are going to play for this defensive coordinator? What's the point of that?
Oh, well, that's kind of an issue.
I mean, again, I know that's how big of an a-hole that sounds, but it's true. These people aren't rich because they're stupid.
Yeah, it'd be like asking, I can imagine trying to go out and if you had a Butch Jones coaching you, how much that would this year in this era.
It's like someone trying to say, a Kentucky fan, hey, we need a couple $1 million to get some players for Mark Stoops. What, are you kidding? I'm not giving you anything until you get rid of that guy.
Alabama's boosters, when it wasn't legal, they weren't going to give a whole lot of money towards Mike Shula, but they would with Sabin.
865-200-5402. Here's the point. And that's going to be something that's going to happen all over the country. It used to happen, back in the day when guys cost $25,000-$30,000 and you bought them a house or a car, got a parent a job or whatever. Back then they would pull the hedge of protection away from you and you'd get fired. Now they can just pull the plug on your NIL, these real rich guys, and then you just die on the vine, which is another thing that'll happen in the sport. But if you're Tennessee, you're looking at going, okay, Auburn might open, so might Tulane. Michigan State might open, so might Iowa State. Baylor might open, so might Texas State. Virginia Tech might open, so might South Carolina. And then South Carolina, if it opens, they're probably going to hire that Fran Brown guy who was at Georgia, who does a real nice job, who will be looking to move up into this league. Shane Beamer starts his clock over at Virginia Tech. But you got to sit there if you're Josh Heupel, and you got to play. You got to do it right now. You got to have people on your staff playing 3D chess. If you don't do that, you're not doing your job. I mean, it's pretty simple. Part of the deal today is either kill or be killed. Because like Sean said, they're coming after guys on your roster. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Tony.
Yes.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Go right ahead.
Hey, brother. I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
What is the combined record for Tennessee's wins? Their conference wins. What do you think that record is?
It's 0 and something. 0-9.
It's 1-17. I'm sorry, that's with Syracuse.
Yeah, 1-17. Yep.
That's not good, Tony.
No, but Syracuse would be better if they didn't lose their quarterback. They would be in a better spot right now. I don't know that they were going to make a bowl game or anything. But
Mississippi State should have beat Texas,
and Mississippi
they
State
could
had
have
Texas
beat
and
Florida.
And Arkansas had somebody beat last week as well. I guess Auburn. So, but you make a good point. I mean, we're stepping up in competition.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I was just calling. I'm a big Vanderbilt fan. Been a Vanderbilt fan my whole life. So.
Nice. Tell me about Vandy this year. Give me your level of optimism that they can run the table.
I mean, which side of me are you asking? You asking for the side that I hope or what I think?
What you think?
I mean, I think this week will be a good test. I don't know about this backup quarterback for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I trust our team, but I don't know. I think we could go 11-1, but I think we could go 8-4. You know, I mean, the same thing for Tennessee.
I think you guys are going to swallow Texas this weekend, and I think Vanderbilt is just Vanderbilt has a solid team, first of all, and then they're having kind of a charmed year, and probably should have beaten Alabama if you look back at that game. 2 turnovers. If those 2 turnovers don't happen, we are really looking at Vanderbilt as a team that's already in the playoffs. Those 2 teams, because they could afford to lose to Tennessee at the end of the year. We would be talking about them in that manner if they didn't turn the ball over twice.
Right. I mean, we can always play games off of what if. But,
sure. Hey, we make that field goal against Georgia. They're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. You know.
Right. So, what do you think about this Diego Heisman deal? Honest opinion.
I mean, if he wins the rest of his games, how you gonna not give him the Heisman Trophy? If Vanderbilt makes a playoff, how is Diego Pavia not the Heisman Trophy winner? What would Vanderbilt be without him? What would Vanderbilt be without him? It's not about stats. What would Vanderbilt be without him?
You got a point.
Yeah, and I like the kid and I appreciate your call. I like the kid because I appreciate guys that respect what they're doing. And I find Diego Pavia to be a great respecter of the sport of college football. Sean, do you agree with that? I love watching that kid play, in fact.
I do. I like the thing I like him because he's a nice player.
Yeah.
But you match him up. He's to me, he's not better statistically or on the field than what we have. I think that's proven on paper. But the thing I like about him is he makes everybody else think they can do it.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that I'm not paralleling or contrasting it with Joey Aguilar. I'm speaking specifically about Pavia. He makes that team think they can win.
Yes.
I mean, he's the reason they beat LSU, not because of what he did on the field, but what he did between the heads of the players. And the other thing I like about him is he's just tough. I'll always root for a tough player, and I really think he's tough.
Amen.
And some of that, like when he's coming off the field against Alabama and an adult fan gets chippy with a kid, which I think is unbecoming, and he was feeding it right back to him.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some of that stuff, it is. Some of that stuff you may want to not do, but that's kind of the oxygen that guys like that they feed on. It's like Vitello. It's the same thing.
That's exactly right.
But I don't know if he wins the Heisman. I just don't. I mean, he would be the most influential player in the country if they were to win out and go to the playoffs.
I want to remind you, tomorrow on the blog, it is a Tennessee Hardwood Report, and it's presented by our friends at WeShipFloors.com. Tomorrow we've got about a 1,500-word breakdown coming out of the Duke game, lessons learned, talking to some insiders. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. And we are going to have a Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime for you on Monday. Yeah, Diego Pavia is not about statistics. I understand you can read his stats. Some people transcend in that sport statistics, and he's one of them. He's a hell of a player. And I'm going to ask you right now, those of you that hate him, and I want you to answer this, what would that team be if you took him away from them? Because I'm going to help you out. They'd be about a 500 football team. You can hate on him all you want. You can hate on me for loving on him. You can do whatever you want to do and do it till the sun comes down. But you're not going to deny that Diego Pavia is the reason. He is the reason Vanderbilt's in the spot they're in. My man William Patterson's coming up next. William, I'm hugging your neck on Friday. We love you. Peace. We continue to do what we're doing.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
I mean, look,
it's
Vanderbilt wins the
TLD
rest
Logistics
of their games.
Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Hey, Bri, if Vanderbilt wins the rest of their games, who are you going to give the award to?
And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Who?
Well,
Vanderbilt.
You've got if Notre Dame wins out, you've got the Carr kid. If Texas A&M wins out, you've got Marcel Reed. So
nice
there's plenty of options besides Diego Pavia.
Cinco,
if you don't want to go that route.
Timothy McGee has checked in with us. And I don't know if it's our Tim McGee, but he's Timothy McGee over here on YouTube. Super Chat, $5. Thank you, Tim. Tony, what defensive coordinator wants to come coach with this offensive scheme Heupel runs that hangs your defense out to dry? Cinco, what do you say to a guy like Timothy McGee? Earth to my man Cinco. Earth to Sink. What do you say to a guy?
Say it again, please. Say it again.
What defensive coordinator from Timothy McGee, Super Chat over on YouTube, what defensive coordinator is going to want to coach with this offensive scheme Heupel runs that hangs your defense out to dry?
I don't know. I keep hearing that, but last year it was shown that you can have a top 10 defense with the same offense.
But they didn't run the offense. They went slow.
Well,
yep.
I get that, but what I would wonder, I guess it's irresponsible for me to want something different and not have a top 10 replacement. I just don't know enough of the guys. I'm willing to bet that in this offense, if you had a Brent Venables type, he'd run a formidable defense, because the great ones they don't care what you're running on offense. There is no dictate that if you're complementing this offense that you have to give up 12, 15, 18 play drives. You control how much time you're on the field.
Goldbrick Joe sent me something that is illustrative.
You want to get off the field? Stop somebody.
Goldbrick Joe sent me this. It's pretty illustrative. He says that he was listening to a podcast, and the host said that Tennessee is averaging 12 missed tackles per game on the year, and those missed tackles have accounted for an additional 1,200 yards after completion. Cinco, do you think a number like that is true, or do you think that's pulled out of thin air, or does that jibe with what we've seen?
I've seen that as well. I don't know when you have services like Pro Football Focus and you have some other people like that get into the minutia. I guess it's possible. It'd be hard to argue against those stats.
Yes.
But again, I just don't understand. If you want to stop somebody, stop somebody. It's what the gentleman said about your offense leaving you hanging out to dry. Okay, but also when your offense is putting up, like in a couple years ago, 35 points in the first half, you don't think that benefits the defense?
By the way,
all of a sudden you're not playing the same offense. You're playing a pass first offense, and you can pin. You know what they're going to do.
By the way, somebody here referred to in the comments as Pavia as a dime store Tim Tebow. I think that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, Florida won games because he was tougher than you. And when he stood before the media and said, hey, we're not losing another game this year, his teammates believed that. And to Sean's point, that's a powerful thing inside a locker room. When I know that my quarterback, who the rest of the world hates, who could be a real prick for all we know, but who, when we walk out on the field, has unyowns that drag the ground, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing inside a locker room. Let's go back to our phones. And the one thing about the quarterback we had here last year that I really believe and believed is that he was a flatline guy that didn't make anybody around him feel more confident when they were on the field. Fair thought or not, Sean?
I think it is. I think it very much is. It's he's inspiring. He's an inspiring player. He gives belief to those guys, and you can't fake what they're doing on the field. They're playing tough. What they did to LSU was not fakery. What you say, I still think Texas gets them, but they are going to represent against Texas. There's no question about it. I'd take them on our team.
Amen. I'd take him in a heartbeat on our team.
And I'm not saying that's over Joey.
No.
So don't misconstrue that.
But guys like him, the concept of guys like him at any position, give me those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I think he's a lot. I think he's. I think he's very much a dime store Heath Schuler type.
I agree with that. Give me a dime store Heath Schuler.
The will is just Heath Schuler's will was, and he was a fabulous athlete.
Yep.
But I think his will was even bigger.
And ladies and germs, that's the point. People that make sports all about statistics, they're not. They're just not. They're just not. Hey, this KK Hernandez guy from the Dodgers, you can tell me all day long how bad his stats are. And I will tell you all day long, in the games that matter, he's going to make plays. He's going to put his bat on the ball. He's going to catch a ball in the outfield last night and go into the stands doing it. And I guarantee you his teammates know he's a winning player. And then there are a lot of guys who are losing players that have great numbers. On my team, I want as many winning players as I can get. And Diego Pavia, I will remind you, those of you that are pooping on the guy, and Matt's going to get all over me tomorrow because I'm praising a guy from Vanderbilt. But listen, I call an ace an ace and a spade. He's the same guy when he was at New Mexico State, okay, who plays in front of about 1,800 people. They went to Auburn and won a football game. So this is a guy that quarterbacked New Mexico State and Vanderbilt in consecutive years to wins over Auburn. I don't care if Auburn's walking in the freaking desert. That is not the point. The guy is a straight-up winner. A straight-up winner. And people are missing your point. Josh says he couldn't hold a candle to Schuler. Schuler had a cannon for an arm. If he'd have played today, would dominate college football. People are missing what we're saying, Sean. We're not comparing him to Schuler. We're talking about his will, his want to. Schuler was a guy that sold out on the football field on the college level when he played. Would do anything to win a game. That's all we're saying. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are on our Bring It Wednesday edition. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony. This is Jason from Trenton.
Hey, Jason and Trenton. Welcome in.
Hey, I got a couple of things just to talk about. First thing, I heard from somebody today that I don't know if y'all heard this, that Brian Kelly's only going to get about $20 million of that 50.
Why is that?
They're going to try to use that morality clause on him.
Nice. I'm for that, not against it if they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the rumors that he's kind of been a bad boy down there.
Uh-oh.
Which doesn't surprise me with his history.
Well, you know what's funny, right? Guess what would have happened, okay? Guess what would have happened if he'd be winning right now? Would they be using the morality clause on him?
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah. It'd been like here with Pruitt. If he'd have been winning, we wouldn't have heard anything about that.
Now we're talking, brother. Now we're talking.
But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. And I heard the athletic director might be in a little trouble. So
interesting.
I don't know. And if that guy Sarkisian ends up leaving and going to the NFL and that Texas job opens, it'll be way bigger than LSU's job. Because, I mean, that's one of the top probably 3 jobs in the country. But the other thing I was wanting to talk about is the defense. Tony, did the Tim Banks try to leave out of here last year? Didn't he try to get 2 jobs? Clemson and Penn State.
He talked. No, I don't think Penn State, but Clemson certainly was one of them. Yes, and then they came back with a 3-year deal for him.
Okay. Yeah, it just seemed to me. I don't know for sure, but it seemed like he was trying to get out of here and just didn't work out for him. And so he came back. But I mean, they were really good last year. But what was the weakest part of the defense last year? Probably the linebackers, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it just shocked me that they didn't even address that in the offseason. I mean, they didn't even try to bring in anybody in the portal, or if they did, it didn't work out. But they just kind of rolled back out with the same guys again this year. And, I mean, they bless them. I mean, I know they're trying, but they're just everybody's exploiting them. And now this year, our secondary with the injuries and playing a bunch of new people, and of course, the safeties are really bad, and so it's just really bad this year. I think this is his worst defense since he's been there for Heupel. I mean, I think it's worse than the first 2 years he was here.
Oh, I don't think it's any doubt. Yeah, this defense here is now look, they've had injuries. They got 2 guys. They lost 2 defensive linemen they couldn't have lost earlier in the year. That wasn't good. They've had a myriad of issues with losing guys up front. Sean, John Adams yesterday, or Matt, made a really good point. Counting McCoy as a loss shouldn't count because you had time to go out and get a somewhat – you're not going to find somebody that replaces him, but they knew. These guys knew that McCoy wasn't going to be there this year. That's why they went and got Colton Hood. The tough break was the Gibson injury. And Gibson's a nice player. He's not a great player, but he's a nice player. And it looks like they have a hit on their hands with the freshman from Georgia. Unfortunately for him, when you're a freshman in this league and you're playing that position, And unless you're exemplary and lights out, you're going to get picked on. And that's exactly what's happened to him. But I think he's going to be a nice player in time, though. To me, if it's me, I look at my blog today, and I go, hey, we have all these openings. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out, and I'm going to try to get me 10 defensive players this offseason, veteran players, and I'm going to do like Vanderbilt did. I'm going to overhaul my whole defense. And I'm being serious when I say that.
I hope they do that because, I mean, they really didn't do anything with the linebackers, and that was the biggest glaring weakness I saw. But it really worries me, and I just don't believe that we're going to win out. We're going to play 3 defenses that are probably better than any 3 we've played this year.
Yes.
And
you're right.
I just don't see how our offense is going to be able to keep up. I mean, we made that guy at Kentucky look like Tim Couch. And, they hadn't scored 3 touchdowns against a conference opponent in 2 or 3 years, and they scored 5 on them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how we're going to be able to win out. I mean, I hope they do, but I'm just going to keep my expectations lower just so I can survive.
Well, Jason, before the year, and I know you've been with us for a while, I was just not one of these people telling people what they wanted to hear because everybody was like, well, we're going to win 10 games. And I just kept saying there are too many holes in this football team to go win 10 games. And that was before the injuries.
Yeah.
And I think if Josh Heupel wins 9 games to this football team, it's a hell of a coaching job. Because I still think there's a possibility they could win 8 before it's all said and done. Because when you have that many holes on defense, man, in this league, it's just, look, we went to overtime with Mississippi State. The Arkansas game was way closer than it should have been. Kentucky's the one team we've blown out, but, I mean, they quit several weeks ago. Although they were in the game with Texas, and poor Texas. I mean, what can you say about poor Texas's offense? My gosh.
Yeah, I don't want to sound, totally negative. I'm really happy and excited with how this offense. I mean, nobody expected this offense to be this good with Aguilar.
Yeah.
Coming in, and it just proves to me that Josh Heupel's just a great offensive coach and play caller. I mean, he's one of the best in the country. It's just the concerning part is I just thought this defense would be better this far along, and I don't know. I know recruiting-wise, they've got a lot of great prospects coming in if they can keep them together. I think their linebacker class is one of the top 3 in the country if they can keep those guys, although one of them, Georgia Tech's trying to take away from us. So, But I think there's some good talent coming in, and then, like you say, if they can add in the portal, they can get it going again. But because I thought the defense was trending in the right direction, and then this year it's been awful.
Lost a bunch of guys to the NFL. Yeah, thank you. I love you too, man. Listen, defense lost a bunch of guys to the NFL. That's tough. Lost a lot of good players last year. Impact players. And, facing facts, right? One of our defensive linemen kind of took the year off and was still a high pick. But they were still very good. So, interesting era we live in. We live in an era where, as a head coach, you've got to be nimble. You've just got to be. And I wouldn't want one of those jobs because the paradigm's always shifting on you. I mean, think about the Vols, right? Their biggest need area is what? Safety. When Miami came a calling this year, they didn't believe that. They didn't believe that agent. Why would they? Why would Miami want a guy that was a guy from MTSU that was an average player last year? Miami took that kid, plugged him in, and coached him up. And he's playing. He's going to be an all-league player. And I know you're going to say, well, it's the ACC and this, that, and the other. I mean, he's had a hell of a year for him. So, but I think about this season. I think about how close these teams are. Georgia should have lost Tennessee. And the Tennessee-Alabama game, Bri, should have gone right to the very end. Should have gone right to the very end. Should have gone right to the wire.
Yeah, I think that would have been, even if they don't have that long interception return, that they were going to have to figure out a way to outscore Alabama. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they were going to be able to play well enough or get enough defensive stops to win that game anyway, but it would have been a 4-quarter game, I do believe.
Yes, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Back to our phones we go. So I just think it's a very interesting game Saturday, because what you have is you have a half-complete team in Oklahoma and a half-complete team against the Vols. Now, the old adage is defense wins championships. This is like a championship-level elimination type game. One of those units is going to get the best of the other on Saturday. And we've got to continue our trend of hitting the long ball. If I'm the Vols, hopefully we can protect the quarterback enough that we can play long ball with them. I want to try out those safeties. And this Brazel guy, hey, he made a fool out of me. He's had a hell of a year. And I know some people say, well, he's dropped some balls. Everybody drops balls. Everybody drops balls. Everybody drops balls. And Brazel does do this thing where he'll, we've seen it this year. Some games he's really in. Some games he's kind of out. He does do the in and out thing. Hopefully he has an in game. He's locked in on Saturday. They should be able to hit some big plays over these guys. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. 865-200-5402. And then you get an opportunity in Gainesville a couple weeks later. Which, again, some of you have penciled in as a win. Last time we won down there, long time ago. Hello and welcome in. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime presented by our friends at TLD Logistics. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you.
I see all these openings in college football.
Yep.
And then everybody's wanting Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Eli Drinkwitz has been mentioned. Even James Franklin's been mentioned.
Yep.
Along with the other coaches have been mentioned. What one coach have you not heard his name mentioned?
Let's see. I heard Nick Saban's name mentioned earlier today.
If you're talking about Heupel,
Ron Zook, maybe?
I did.
Ron Zook?
No, I'm talking about Josh Heupel.
Oh, Brian, where'd you see his name?
I did see where somebody from LSU put his name on a hot board.
Well,
how about that?
His name basically hasn't been mentioned at all.
Dave, you asked, and Brian told you
well,
that his name's on LSU's hot board. Brian, who put that out? Glenn Gilbo?
Some writer down there put it out. I don't think it's really serious, but he did get mentioned, and he might get mentioned for some other ones before it's over. But that doesn't mean it's serious.
Dave, is your point that nobody would want him? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's pretty telling.
Oh, Dave.
I think it's because of the way he forms his teams.
Dave. Now, Dave.
I'm just telling you.
Dave. If Missouri opened, they wouldn't want him? Go ahead, Dave. Tell me.
Well, Missouri might.
Virginia Tech wouldn't want him?
But the big boys wouldn't want him.
South Carolina wouldn't want him? Florida wouldn't talk to him, Dave? Florida wouldn't talk to a guy that's won.
Nope. Florida wouldn't want any part of him.
He's won 10 games twice in 4 years. They wouldn't talk to him, and he coached at Central Florida and was very successful there.
No. He would not be in the conversation for LSU.
Definitely want to.
You are breaking news. You're breaking news here today, Dave.
Yeah, Oklahoma might go after him, yeah. But I'm talking about the Floridas and the LSUs.
What do you mean? Oklahoma's a half?
Have they been?
Hey, Dave, Florida would take him tomorrow. Okay?
I don't think they would,
Oh, Dave, come on. You know better than that. Guy's an excellent coach.
So why don't they go after him and offer him $12.5 million? He'd be a fool not to take it. Look at the recruiting base in Florida.
Dave, I got to give you credit. And I don't do this very much, but I've got to give you credit today, man. You came with something fresh today. That's a pretty fresh angle for you. On your angles, it's a very fresh angle. Go ahead, Cinco.
Well, I'm respectfully, I'm hearing Golish's name mentioned with a lot. I mean, if you would hire Alex Golish over Josh Heupel, anybody, you're a stone cold moron.
But you've heard his name more than you heard Heupel.
Be in the same sentence.
Why are you hearing his name? He's at
hiring.
South Florida. Dave, he makes a fraction of what these guys make in these SEC jobs. That's why you're hearing his name. Come on, Dave.
Or Matt Campbell, for God's sake.
Josh Heupel makes $10 million a year. Come on, Dave.
Yeah.
That's why you're not hearing his name. Jeez, Dave.
Do you think Josh Heupel's the same level of coach as Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I really do. I think I think their records bear out here. That last year, who made the championship and who choked on a big one?
Well, but he's not perceived to be as big as Lane Kiffin.
Well, he's not perceived to be because he's flashy and he's kicky and all that stuff. But when it comes to it, when it's nut cutting time, he chokes on a big sack every single time.
I agree with that.
And you want to pay that guy $13 million? He's White James Franklin with a little bit of attitude.
God, White Franklin.
I'm just saying.
With a Twitter account.
I've just been paying attention where I've not heard his name mentioned, Josh, and to me I'm thinking, wow.
Dave, read the blog in the morning. I got some information on the two guard you're going to like.
You
can laugh at that, Dave. I got some information for you.
Who in the market right now is better than him? Is better than Heupel?
But I don't know. But why is his name not being mentioned?
Dave,
well, I'm waiting. I asked you a question. I'm waiting. Who
in the market better?
That's a viable candidate. Don't give me Myers, Sabin. Come on. Who's a viable candidate out there?
Okay, I'll go this way. Drinkwitz and Lane Kiffin are on the. They're probably on the same level as Josh Heupel.
Okay.
But why hasn't Josh Heupel's name been mentioned?
Pretty good SEC coaches. Pretty good SEC coaches. Yeah. And Heupel's
but
pretty good.
Why have their names been mentioned and not Josh Heupel?
He makes $10 million a year, and he's at Tennessee. He's already at a half job, Dave.
Drinkwitz makes the same as Josh Heupel.
Dave, he's at Missouri, as they say in the trade. Dave, come on, man. You know better than that. This is a signature job in college football. Tennessee's a half job. Dave, when's the last time a head coach got hired away from here for another job? Thank you, Dave. I rest my case.
2010.
I rest my case, Dave. Thank you. And why did he leave, Dave?
Because his wife could stand Knoxville.
There you go. Now we're talking.
And it's unlikely to happen. But with a bowl game, you're talking about you're down in a coach that has a fairly decent shot of winning his third straight, 10-game season.
And on three are the ones that have Heupel's name on LSU's board.
Guys, listen.
But I'm wondering, in the coaching poll, we've established that Lane Kiffin's not better. I mean, that's a matter of taste, but he's not better. Who else is better out there? It's not Franklin. Franklin's trying to do everything he can to get into Blacksburg. Blacksburg.
Listen, this is my only point, and I'll end on that. I'm seeing kinks in the armor this year.
Kinks or chinks?
And it's troubling me.
Kinks or chinks? Which one?
Well, whatever. I'm seeing little things that are problematic with this head coach that bother me.
That's okay. You see things. You didn't like Tony Vitello the year we won the championship either.
No, that's not.
I think.
Come on, Dave. You came on here and ripped him at the end of the year.
The local guy is always going to be held to a different standard than the guy across the state.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it goes. I mean, that goes back to Jesus even talking about that.
Yep.
We always have
Prophet has no honor in his
a more
hometown.
acute lens we're grading our guy with than we are everyone else.
Yep.
Here's another thing, guys.
Lane Kiffin lost to Mark friggin' Stoops last year.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the bad thing, and I actually feel for Coach Heupel, is that this game Saturday against Oklahoma, his former school, and that game at the end of the year against Vanderbilt, it's a no-win situation for him.
What?
And what I'm saying is, if he loses, it's a lot worse than if he wins. You understand what I'm saying? He's got to win those games.
Well, of course.
So
that's why he makes $10 million. What do you mean it's a no lose? If you win, you win.
You're talking. Well, hang on a second. You're talking about a guy that's gone 50-50 Florida and Alabama.
What's this guy
since he's been here?
What's this guy talking? He says, "Well,
Florida." I don't think he's the world's greatest, and you're right. But every coach is look at the chinks starting to form on Kirby Smart.
And Dave,
who has the best talent going? Look at Sarkisian.
Dave, if you,
he is on fuse the past 2 weeks against Mississippi State and Kentucky.
He feels for Heupel. He feels for him.
No, I think with respect, Dave, and I get it. I know you're a fan, but I get this dynamic that you're trying to foresee a defeat or something like that. Because look, every school's got that. He's also the same guy that if you had a kicker that could put it through the uprights, he's got one loss and in a pole position to get in the playoffs.
Shame.
One kick.
Oh, it's a shame.
And I'm not ripping Gilbert, but that is the truth.
No, it's just our spot in that series, and like we were talking about Arkansas earlier in the week and Mississippi State. Sometimes you have to admit that the winners are going to win and the teams are going to lose. Are going to lose. It's crazy, right, Sean?
Well, I think that I don't know the exact number, but I think there's a false perception that everybody views our coach like Dave does. I don't think so. I think 90-95% of the people are glad he's here. And again, he did not come up with somebody in the active hiring pool that's better than Heupel that I've heard. I haven't heard it.
And then we got an idiot over here on YouTube. No offense, Rodney, who wants to bet me $1,000 Heupel won't get hired at LSU. Rodney, you don't listen.
Well, I can tell you not. He's not sexy enough.
Well, and not only that, he's at Tennessee. I mean, what? Again, what sitting head coach besides that 32-year-old fool, who I, by the way, think's a very good quarterback, a very good head coach, but at the time he didn't respect the opportunity here. Nobody leaves this place. There's not a better job out there. You can win a national championship here.
He's regretted it really ever since. Maybe not up until recently, but
of course he has. So Dave's like, "What do you mean with the guy?" Hey, Rodney, I'll suggest anything I want to suggest, you punk and you clown.
Well, between the three of us, really, we'll take that out of his hands. One guy is better. I'm not even say significantly better. That's hireable. Ryan Day's not leaving. Come on, he's not. Kirby Smart's not leaving. What guy out there is hands down a better hireable coach right now than Heupel? I can't think of one.
I'm waiting because these guys don't leave jobs anymore. It's what me and C were talking about last night. Like Penn State has this pie in the sky wish list, and I heard from a Penn State fan today who said, "There's no way Penn State's going to hire Matt Rule." I said, "Okay, let's watch and see." Well, we want Brom, and I'm like, you ain't getting Brom. And you ain't getting this guy, and you ain't getting that guy, and you ain't getting that guy.
Those guys aren't as good as Heupel.
Well, no. I'm talking about the Penn State job. Yeah. Sean, the Tennessee coach would never leave for Penn State. That's the end of the discussion.
No.
We're not comparing coaches.
No.
But the point is, it's hard to hire coaches these days, Dave. And the reason you're not seeing Heupel's name on the board is he's making tons of money here, and he's not going anywhere. Now, if Oklahoma opens at the end of the year and they call him and offer him that job, would he go? I don't know. I mean, that's...
Well, here's the interesting thing. If he were to go, how are you replacing Heupel? And I'm not one of these guys, who are you going to hire, Tony? But seriously, who are you going to hire? You're not going to upgrade.
Back to the phones we go. And we'll get our next call in. Dave is Dave, man. If I knew where that Riffmobile was, I'd do two things. I'd send that out to you, and I'd get you I'd send a Kiss LP with it, too. R.I.P.
Did I hear him cracking on the basketball team the other night?
R.I.P. Ace Frehley, Cinco.
Yeah,
I haven't asked you about it. Jerry died, Cinco?
My understanding was he died from a brain bleed from a fall he took in studio.
No. So he fell down a flight of stairs at his house.
Okay.
And I got this off the 70s Buzz podcast, which celebrates the 70s. These two guys in Oklahoma, they're hilarious. 70s Buzz, it's called. And they had this guy that, like, who's a Kiss superholic historian guy, who was like choking back tears when he told the story. So he goes to the emergency room after falling at his house. And they say to him, because Ace was like notoriously clumsy, Sean, kind of like I am. He trips over things and whatnot. And I'm like that. I trip and fall over things a lot. I'm a goofball. So Space Ace trips and falls, okay? And they tell him at the emergency room, hey, stay off your feet the rest of the day. He falls down the same flight of stairs later that day, Cinco. Twice in one day, Cink. Now,
that's a guy that has a whole lifetime of couldn't get out of his own way.
What did he mean to you, Sean? What did Ace Frehley mean to you?
He was, I liked him. He's not the reason I picked up guitar. He's the reason I originally started liking, rock music. But I was equally into Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. But he was... You take a listen to a lot of those guys. Slash, what is he? Oh golly, Ian. I can't remember his last name, but a lot of those, a lot of guitarists. And I'm not suggesting that Ace Frehley is the greatest by any stretch. He's
play with a lot of soul.
He's a lot of pentatonic guy, and that's
play
okay.
With a lot of soul,
because that's a lot of music's been played with that.
A lot of soul.
A lot of soul, but he was the OG.
Yep.
And he got up there and did it, but he was a trailblazer. Absolutely.
There's no telling how many kids pick guitars up because of him. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? Josh, your boy.
Wings.
Some other guys you didn't mention that could win the Heisman this year. Haynes King from Georgia Tech.
Sure.
Sayin from Ohio State.
Just saying.
The Mendoza kid's playing really good
yes,
this year.
Sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're on the money, brother.
Yep.
That King is fun to watch, man.
What? Say what, Cinco?
Haynes King is a fun player to watch.
He's another one.
Yes, he is.
He walks on the field. He's not a pro player, just like the kid at Vanderbilt isn't. Like Sean was saying, this whole pro player thing, I need a pro quarterback, that is Barbara Streisand from the pit of hell. Because I'm going to tell you something, you do not need you need a quarterback at this level. When the kids in the locker room look at him, they believe in that guy. They look in his eyes. Joey Aguilar is one of them. That's what me and Columbo go round and round on. They would never take. He can never play. He's a Sun Belt quarterback. I mean, you're missing the point. I mean, what was Diego Pavia before New Mexico State? What league are they in, Josh?
Diego Pavia was a Conference USA quarterback.
There you go. He's CUSA. I don't even know what damn league they're in.
Yeah.
You know because you bet on the ponies and you're a degenerate.
Yeah.
No offense.
Tony, do you think I don't know. We haven't seen him a lot this year, the backup from Texas, but you really think Vandy is alive in that game against Texas Saturday?
I don't know, because that kid might be an improvement over Arch. Here's the problem.
True.
Who's going to finish a game when Vandy knocks that kid out? Josh, what's your favorite kind of cake? We're celebrating Josh's birthday Friday down at Calhoun's on the Riviera. What's your favorite kind of cake, Josh? Refresh my memory.
I like a chocolate cake with flat icing.
So you like chocolate with the yellow. Wait a second. Chocolate on the inside, vanilla icing on the outside?
Yes.
God, that's straight goofy.
Yeah.
Brian, remember that. Chocolate on the outside, vanilla on the inside, Bri. Remember that. Is that right, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Chocolate on the outside, vanilla on the inside, or vanilla on the outside, chocolate on the
inside. Vanilla inside, on the inside, chocolate on the outside.
Oh, that's how I like it.
Yeah. Tony, so
that's
like you were saying, they knew from the off season that McCoy wasn't probably going to play in half the season, so they went out, got the Hood kid.
Yep.
Do you think they should have got one more guy out of the portal from the secondary?
No. How would you ever know that? No. You don't go into a season thinking your corners are going to get hurt.
Right. I think in the offseason, the number one need for the portal is you go after safeties, then linebackers, and cornerbacks. Sure up the defense first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're my boy. I would add 8 players. Linebackers. I think the Pilati guy's a keeper, and I would go and I would take. Sean's not going to like this, but I'd take Boo Carter's money and spend it on a couple different ball players. Sean's not saying that.
Tony, I really hope to God that Boo Carter and his crazy mom are out of here next week.
I don't want to crack on his mom. She might want to come have some of your birthday cake on Friday, Josh. Come on, man.
Well, I don't see him back here next season. Do you, Tony?
I don't know. I think he's a great athlete, and I think that he's got tantalizing skill.
And Tony, I was talking with the great Artemis. I called that shot a month ago. I said James Franklin is going to go to Virginia Tech. Or do you watch?
Are there reports out there that's going to happen?
Yes.
Wow.
They're currently finalizing a deal.
Wow, that'd be a great hire.
Yeah.
James Franklin, PSG Recruiting, which has got a blue check mark. James Franklin is currently negotiating a contract with Virginia Tech. It's almost a done deal, they say.
Yeah, blue check marks on Twitter.
And Tony, you know the thing about the ACC, you're only playing one elite team a season, you know?
Oh, hey, listen. And plus, the other thing about him is he recruited the absolute hell out of that D.C. Corridor right on down there to where Michael Vick's from, down there in Norfolk. And you win your fair share there at Virginia Tech, you'll be back cooking with grease in no time. The Brent Pry guy who came off his staff was an absolute flatliner to the point where I thought it was Ricky Ronnie up there. Matt's I used to love when you would misidentify him. I was like, who even knows who Virginia Tech is anymore?
Right. Tony, did I really hear Mark call in Monday and say Nico is going to be with Lane Kiffin next season?
Mark who?
Colombo.
Mark in Colombo has...
Did he really say that?
Well, he's got a Lane Kiffin Cupid doll by his bed.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think that he has a Nico Lay.
I wouldn't be shocked if he did, but I'm going to throw it in reverse.
Mark, think about
go
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it in reverse out the door. Mark, I don't think Nico is going to be with Lane Kiffin next year. I think we're going to see Arch Manning with Kiffin next year.
Oh! And that's going to do it for us because I got to get out of here. I get to physical therapy. Cinco, any final thoughts? SEA and Sinclair, DDS, beautiful Maryville. I got to get to
I'll tell you
therapy.
what, the Oklahoma game with Butch Jones was one of the loudest, most exciting crowds I've been around.
Yep.
This weekend, Vol Nation, it's going to be a little chilly.
Yep.
So bundle up, dark mode, and
yep.
You know what? At the end of the day, no matter what happens, let's not let it be said that the crowd, and I'll be there too, didn't do our part in giving the Big Orange the best environment they can have to win the game, because we're going to need it.
Giving you the best that I got, Anita Baker. Love you, Cinco. You're the man. Tomorrow
Thanks,
on the
Tony.
show, you got it. It'll be C, B, and TGMD along with TB. Until we meet again, I love you. Remember, we're live with you on Friday at Calhoun's. Get on down there. It's a huge day. The big box reveal is there, and unlike WWF back in the day, it won't be Pete Rose in it, and it won't be the gobbledygooker either. Those of you that get the reference, get the reference. Those of you that don't, trust me, you didn't want to be there to see it. In the meantime, I love you. I appreciate you. It's been absolutely incredible. Those of you that hit the show up over on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button. It helps others find the show, because that's how we get into what they call the algae rhythm. The algae rhythm. You want to get into the algae rhythm. So those of you that are there right now, please take the time to hit. There's 183 people in there. Come on, 100 of you. Just reach down and hit the like button. I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take your finger. I'm just looking for some touch. Just touch the like button for me. Till we meet again, I love you. I appreciate you. Tomorrow will be an unbelievable Thursday. We got a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about. Tomorrow in the blog over at tclub.team/TonyBasilio.com. WeShipFloors.com, Tennessee Hardwood Report. Don't miss it. Some thoughts on this game and Josh Heupel and what a big game it is and what a big opportunity this thing is and this, that, and the other. And hit the like button, you punks and you clowns. Hit the like buttons, you punks and you clowns. Love you, appreciate you. 65 likes, that's it, man. Y'all don't even like me. Oh, well. You're going to miss me. You're going to miss me. I'll tell you that. Till we meet again, I love you. Peace. I like sounding whiny. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. You're going to miss me. You're going to miss me. Going to miss me. Let's see here. Boy, Tony, you're obnoxious. Really? Tell me something I didn't know. Let's see here. All right, let's run today's activity back, shall we? And I do call this an activity. What would you call it? I mean, it's work, but it's sort of an activity, right? I've been active today. Physical therapy is going to be a real bear today. Yikes. Yikes. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
I looked at Laura today and I said, we got Barry Traml. Hang on a second, let me flip myself around here. It's not a very nice thing I just did, but I looked at Laura today and I said, we got Barry Traml on today, who is a longtime voice in Oklahoma, and she said, "Oh man, I love that guy. He is so cool." Those of you who've never heard Barry Traml, you're in for a real treat. He's going to join us here in about 10. In the meantime, shout out to Russell Smith. Shout out to... you sure? I thought it was more than 30 seconds. Shout out to Russell Smith. I'm gonna run it here.